Hey everyone, I've got a pretty cool little project that I made for our Advent swap last year at Christmas time, but it's not Christmas based, so I thought I'd share it with you soon as I found the footage. So I've got a little easel here and it's a little canvas that I got from a cheap shop, and I had Louise on the design team last year who we were doing Advent swap for, so I'm just trying to find the right letter L in terms of the shape and size. I know I'm doing black, white, and yellow as her favorite colors, and I'm trying to just make a little display that has the L on it so that she can have it to represent her name. So I've decided on this puffy one, but also there's this, or not puffy, it's like enamel, and then there's this other one which is a bit skinny, but I do pull it out just in case the way I create makes it need that little skinny one. So just quickly having a little side, you could have it vertically or horizontal, and I've got my washi to the right here, and then I've got all these texture items as well. So again, as I said before, it's black, white, and yellow. So I've got some cheesecloth and paper and vellum and tissue paper and what's that called? Some kind of like glitter lace kind of stuff. So I've just got some gel medium here. I've just squirted a bit onto my mat, and I'm just going to put it all over the easel there and just flatten it a little bit. I am going for a 3D look, so it's not going to matter in the end, but just putting it down, and then I'm going to put some tissue paper over top and glue it down so that it seals it in. So just going with some yellow tissue paper and some black and white chevron, and not really going over to the edges because it obviously is going to, because I want it to go to the edges, but I don't really want it to go to the sides as much at all. So I'm only just letting it go a little bit and then ripping it because it's tissue paper, so it's okay. But you can see, just sticking it down randomly, getting some colour on there, not being, like perfect about it. It's meant to look, the more messier it looks, the more it's going to come together in the end. You know, mixed media, how it looks a bit crazy and too much, and then you finish the project off and it all works out. You can see the right amount of the base layers in the middle layer and the top layer. So I've just gone to get something, obviously. So I've got this paper pad here from the DIY shop, which has got just all kinds of like neutral papers, text and whatnot. So I'm just going to rip some of this and put it on there. You can use, I've used like a phone book before, newspaper, although that's quite thin, but I am putting it down with gel medium, so it would be fine. And so again, just putting the gel medium underneath like a glue, and then over top to seal it in and make it part of the background layer. And then I'm just going to pull out some washi tape. So I'm just having a little play. It's tiny. The little canvas is very tiny. So this would be cool to have a play with a bigger one. I wouldn't want to go from this tiny one to like a massive one that you could hang, across your whole lounge room wall or majority of it. But it would be fun to create bigger and on a bigger canvas, that's for sure. So I've just got some black and white spotty washi and then some yellow one. Again, washi isn't as very strong, and especially if you put it on gel medium, you might as well add some glue, gel medium underneath and then some gel medium on top just to seal it and make sure it is 100% glued down. So on it goes. So the trick is that just limiting the colours so that you're not having 20 billion colours. Like, it could work, but you would have to be a little bit mindful about it, I think. But because I am just doing the 3 colours, it just is going to layer on top of each other and mesh in quite easily. So I've just put some vellum on, and then I've got some tulle, that is, or is that the cheesecloth? Let me make my screen bigger because it is, that's not the way. I was like, it's asking me to do in external monitor. That's not going to work. So the first one was yellow cheesecloth, and then this one is some white tulle. which is more robust. So I glued the cheesecloth down with the gel medium, just part of it so that the bottom curled up, and then the same with the tulle. And then I'm deciding if I want to put some tissue paper on top of it. Remembering that I'm going to put my L little thicker on the middle there. So I've got a roller date stamp, adding some rows of hearts and bits and pieces like that, so that it just adds to all the dimension and the detail that's going on in the background. So you can see now that we've got that background with the tissue paper, and I needed a bit of yellow here, so on it goes. And then we've got that detail with the washi and with the stamping, and then I'm coming into the foreground with this more 3D stuff where I've got the cheesecloth, the tulle and the tissue paper, where it's all not stuck down 100% so that it is sticking up. So you can see here it's quite easy to rip tissue paper, especially once it's wet. So just gluing some down in little pieces, and then I'm going to add some more black with some washi tape. So you can just have a little play, just create really. That's all you need to worry about, is that just get it on there. It'll, you know, you can always cover it up if it's not working, or just remove it if it's not. So on goes the letter. I'm really liking that thicker one that I pulled out at the beginning. It's just going to stand out a lot more than that skinnier one. You did see I auditioned it. So now I'm going to add some more of the 3D and more things to the foreground. So I was debating on this black and white ribbon, and I've got some yellow button stars. So really just pulling things from my stash. But then I decide on there's these white little stars and some black hearts that I've gotten in many previous Kitaholic kits. And then we're just having a play as to putting them in, thinking that 3 is a good number as usual with design. And then trying to work out if there's anything else in my stash that I can see. I'm just going to quickly glue these ones down because I am committed to them. And then have a think about what else I could add to them. Enamel dots seems like a reasonable choice, so adding on some yellow. Ooh, it's a bit tricky. So that one I was layering underneath the tissue paper, so, and the tulle layers, so just so that it was popping out and that it was all relative rather than, you know, you kind of want to make sure your background and then your foreground of your artwork correlates to each other, not that it looks like the foreground is just stuck on or the background is just like abstract by itself with no such meaning. On with some black enamel dots. Took me a couple of seconds to go find them apparently. Just checking how it looks on my easel, and look how cute it looks. So just going to add a few more finishing touches in the form of some word stickers, again with the gel medium underneath and on top. And you can see it doesn't take very much gel medium at all. I've put a fair bit on there and stupidly have left my paintbrush there, although it didn't take too long and I was able to wash it. I didn't ruin that paintbrush, but still I probably shouldn't have it fully sitting like that. So just cutting down the word stickers so that there's not too much white space taking up and covering over the background. And you can see there layered those ones underneath the tulle and cheesecloth and tissue paper. Again, just quickly cutting it down. But sorry, I zoomed in so that you guys could see the easel, but normally when I film you can see everything I'm doing, which you could, but when I zoomed in on the editing, you could barely see that I was cutting that down. So again, glue at the bottom, glue at the top. I'm deciding it needs a little bit of yellow washi. I think up the top is where I'm going to put it. And then here is the finishing touch. So hopefully you've enjoyed that and it's inspired yourself to go and create something a little bit different, and hopefully even something as a gift as this was. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, and I'll catch you next video, guys. Bye.